Okay, it's a little before 7 in the morning. I'm ready for the next week of writing. I got up and read a little bit of the final book of the ACOTAR series. So I'm almost done with that. I'm at like 81%. Let's get started with the first of at least three writings of the week. Okay, I forgot to wrap up my session, but it is, excuse me, dog. It's 7:30 now, which means I wrote for probably about half hour, and then I was just kind of effing around for like probably 15 minutes. So in total, I call that 45 minutes. So I was writing on like self-care in the workplace and how to develop a plan for yourself to maintain your mental health and general well-being in the workplace. I do have a blog post and a video about this. So I'll link those below in case you're really curious, like what are the quick and dirty tips right immediately that you need. Then I took a quick inventory of the rest of this work section. I like to look ahead a little bit so I can get, a little excited. So the next like 4 mini sections or chapters, I never know what to call them, are written, which is great because now I just have to go through and kind of edit them. And then the final one, which is about boundaries, is not written, but I wrote out some ideas for it of how maybe I could chunk that section out. So it is 4 p.m. on February 3rd, and earlier this morning I had a writing session, and I wrote about how to ask for reasonable accommodations, or really rather like my experience and then some considerations for others. And then I also wrote about what having an emotional fit at a workplace means and how to figure that out. Like, you kind of know when you know, but like what things you can actually look at and / even change. And then finally, what you aren't able to change jobs, just how to manage not fitting in at work. In total, I wrote / edited 2,403 words, which is a lot. And so unfortunately, this was only my second writing session of the week. I meant to do it 3 times, but also I did a lot each time, so maybe it evened out. It's February 16th, and I wanted to give you an overview of my week in writing so far. So first of all, I've started doing morning pages. I don't know if I've talked about that yet, but morning pages were created by Julia Cameron, and she talks about it in her book, The Artist's Way, which I'm currently reading as part of a creative cluster. So I've done my morning pages every single day this week. It's Friday. I've done a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And that is 3 pages of just stream of consciousness writing, basically. So very proud of that. And then at the same time, because I've been getting up to do that, I also get up to like stack the habit of doing morning pages and then working on my book. And so I'm just going to give you a recap of the week because I didn't film it all, I don't think. So on the 11th, I wrote in the morning. I wrote about assertive communication, 1,215 words. And this is written / edited. So not necessarily wrote all of them, but worked on that many words. I also talked about saying no in the year of no, 836 words. Then in the afternoon, I had another writing session, and it was about managing dating, and that was 1,046 words, and that was a total of 3,097 words that day. Then on whichever day was the 13th, Tuesday, I wrote about myths about love, which I have a blog post on. If you are interested in any of these topics, I likely have something about them in the existence. So feel free to comment any of these and I can give you the link. Myths about love, 983 words. Security and solitude, 632 words. And so a total on Tuesday morning was 1,615 words. Then I wrote again yesterday, so Thursday, and I wrote about oversharing. So wrote and edited. That was 731 words. And then finally this morning I did 2 small chapters, 1 healthy romantic relationship, 317 words, and 2 riffs. So 720 words, and that's in the friendship category. That was the technically 5 writing sessions this week across 4 days, which my goal is to do 3 writing sessions per week. So this is a really positive week for me. And it's just interesting because I think the idea of stacking the morning pages with something like this motivates me to get up earlier and work on this. I just find that at night, like, oh my God, I'm like, while sometimes I'll write at night, which I have, and I'll work on stuff at night, like, I'm very, very tired from the whole day at night. And so this allows me to get my priorities in before the rest of the day, like, takes me over. Because it's true, a lot of the times the day takes me over, I don't take it over. I also think I've been able to explore a couple of cool ideas in the morning pages that I'm interested in. So for example, setting some writing goals, and then as I meet those, I can treat myself with this. And so what I was thinking is like a writing retreat, just like an hour or something from me, but it's completely alone and it's just me, and I can just like be creative in a different space, but like super privately. And so that really excites me to like meet some of these goals. My other idea I had was like thinking more critically about what it looks like for me to read my old journals, because it is something I would like to do as it is related to my book. I want to check and see if there are like big things I missed as far as like different struggles I've had, and different ups I've had, different coping skills that may or may not have worked, just like different things that could be sprinkled in and get me inspired to add a few more things to my book. I'm not trying to go in there and necessarily quote things, right? But if something is really sticking out, I feel like that can be really powerful for me to see and then potentially also put in, because I can add like the year. So I've been journaling in some way since the 3rd grade. And in the 3rd grade, I had a journal with like a plastic cover, and it was spiral bound. It was pretty thick, but it's pretty like short. And it was called Monkey Journal because it had a monkey on it, and it had like a monkey like keychain on it. Anyway, it's called Monkey Journal, and I would say like Dear Monkey Journal. Anyway, but I've been doing that since 3rd grade, and so there's quite a bit of content. I didn't write every day or every week or anything like that, but there were periods where I go in and out, and so there is a lot of content. So that's that. But anyway, back to the morning pages and about reading old journals. I've been thinking more critically about it and putting some parameters in place. Like, I don't just want to read parts of it like 5 minutes every couple days. I feel like that's going to be disjointed, and I'm not going to be able to see like the whole arc. I also think I need to be careful as far as when I'm reading it and how much I'm reading it, even though I decided I didn't want to read too little of it, because I think bringing up those kinds of memories and things like that, and things you haven't thought about in a while, can affect like your mood and your brain space for the week. So I would like some like breathing room basically. So if I could get like a day off work, or if there's a day off work coming or something like that, I'll probably roll that in, because I do want to create some space around this particular project of reading the old journals. So that is my summary of the week. Thanks so much for tuning in, and see you next time. Bye.